For this lesson, we're going to look at the quotient of powers, and quotient means to divide. So we're going to divide numbers with exponents. So if you look at the first one, we have 4 to the third, and 4 to the third, and that's written out as 4 times 4 times 4. Then you have divided by 4 to the second, which is written out as 4 times 4. So one of the things you can do is cancel the factors. So if you look over here at cancel the factors, we've just literally canceled out 1 for 1. So 1, 4, 1, 4, and then that leaves us with 1, 4 left, and our answer then simplified would be 4 to the first power. So let's look at another one. Let's look at 3 to the 6th. So in order to write that in expanded form, I'm going to write 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And then I'm going to write that all over 3 to the third. 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, so one way I can do this is I can just go through and cancel. So I cancel that one for that one, that one for that one, that one for that one. I have none left on the bottom, and I have 3 left on the top. So my answer then would be 3 to the third because of the 3 that I have left on the top. Now, when we do this, if you look back at the exponents, you're going to subtract where the last one we added. This time you're going to subtract. So here we had 3 minus 2, and we got 1, which is what the simplified expression was, 4 to the first. And then here we have 6 minus 3, which is 3, and that is the exponent. So remember, this is what the exponent is. Over here we had first and to the third. Okay, let's look again at the next one. 1 to the 5th and 1 to the 4th. So I can write this out, 1 to the 5th, and I'm going to get 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. And I'm going to put that over. I switched my colors, sorry. 1 to the 4th, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. Now, it's not reasonable to ask you to write this in expanded form every single time. So the trick that we have is we're going to subtract 5 minus 4, and we get 1. So then our final answer would be 1 to the 1, because that's what we had left. Oops. That's what we had left at the end, 1 to the first. Okay, and I'm not even going to write this one in expanded form. I am just simply going to subtract x to the 9th over x to the 7th. 9 minus 7 is 2. So then my answer is going to be x squared, because of that 2 and the 2 that I got here. Okay, so now we've gotten into one that has multiple things. So we have 6 to the 15th, y to the 45th, over 6 to the 7th, y to the 25th. Now, remember, we're only going to be able to combine or subtract exponents that have the same base. So in this case, we're going to be able to take the exponents to our 6th base, and we get 15 minus 7, which gives us 8. And then we're going to take our y's, because it's not reasonable to write this in expanded form. We're not going to write y 45 times. So then we have 45 minus 25, which is 20. Okay, so now what we're going to do is rewrite it, and I'm just going to do it right next to it. So I have 6 to the 8th y to the 20th, and that's your answer. So if I said simplify this, or if I said put this in standard form, you would put into your calculator 6 to the 8th and get a big long number, and y to the 20th. So the pattern we see here is that when we divide, I'll write this out for you. When you divide, you subtract. The exponents. So when you divide, you subtract the exponents. Before, when we multiplied, we added the exponents, right? Okay, so I'll let you do this top one here, and if we look at the bottom one, we can do this one together. We have our 8, they have the same base, and our y's. And again, I'm going to take 6 minus 3 and get 3. And 5 minus 3 and get 2. So then that becomes 8 to the 3rd, y to the 2nd. And that would be your answer there. Okay, so then the formal rule when dividing exponents is AM over AN is simply AM minus N. Okay, you won't have to know that formula, and I know sometimes it can be confusing because we're just doing letters. So again, make sure you fill all of this out, turn this in, and there is a practice worksheet to go along with it. You may choose the odds or evens again for the practice worksheet and turn that in. Let me know if you have any questions.